I'm going to say this. I have never been as off about a guy's ceiling in the NBA as I have been about Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson is the underdog of the NBA. From being ranked 16th in his class out of high school to the king of New York, Jalen has one of the most inspiring stories in hoops, especially if you're an undersized guard. He plays at his own pace, gets to his spots, and scores efficiently. He's one of my favorite players to watch right now, so I had to make a Brunson build. And you know I had to make it play like Brunson too, with the right animations that allow us to use our footwork to cook the defense. I'll be getting into all of it in this video, but if we want to play like Brunson, we gotta study his game. How is a short guard able to score at will as the number one option against NBA defenses scheming to stop him? He's not quick like a fox. He doesn't have jaw-dropping athleticism. Everyone doubted him, yet he can still score at all three levels whenever he wants. We got to figure out how he does it, so let's watch some film.
We thought he could be like the third, maybe
I didn't think he was going to
second best guy on a really good playoff team.
Third. Yeah, there's never a moment where I thought it would be anything approaching. Hell, even a lesser version of this, I didn't think this is what he was going to be.
What was the evidence that there was no evidence that this could ever happen?
When I watch Jalen Brunson, I see one of the best go get your team a bucket type players, especially for his height. I mean, you got Steph, Dame, Kyrie, AI, legends of the game. Team needs a bucket, give him the rock. Jalen belongs in that conversation with them, and he has a unique way of getting his. The first thing you'll notice is how balanced he is playing off 2 feet. You can thank his coach from Villanova, Jay Wright, who made this an emphasis during Brunson's development, and it has become his superpower. He's also great at finishing near the rim thanks to his strength, and with his low center of gravity, he's always on balance and takes great angles to the cup. He plays physical, can't be sped up, and is elite at drawing fouls. And he's about as good as any guard in the post, utilizing bump fades and step throughs. You combine this entire skill set into one player, and the game plan is simple. Touch the paint and make the appropriate reads. So you'll see when I get to the build, I invested heavily into these areas. And since he's such a threat downhill, defenders are on their heels and step backs are the natural counter. But if he's been raining on them, they can also be a setup for step back cancels, especially in clutch moments when the defense is frantically trying to guess what he's going to do next. Brunson is a bona fide shot creator. And the whole point of the build I'm about to share with you is I wanted to make an effort to play as much like Brunson as possible. It's not meta, but it makes the game fun for me. So let's dive into the build. Alright, I got 2 versions for you. The first one I'll be sharing is the one I made and is what you'll be seeing in all the clips. Jalen is listed at 6'2", but I need better post control than 75, so I bumped the height 1 inch to 6'3". This is also the tallest you can make a build and still get mini marksman, which was a cool little boost they gave this year for shorter shot creators. 2'10", 6'5" wingspan. I put in the physical so we can see the badges, and let's talk about the most important ones first. 99 mid-range for legend shooting badges. You might argue, 99 mid-range? You mean to tell me that Brunson is the best mid-range shooter in NBA history? Not exactly. This is a video game, and there are multiple factors. You're at a disadvantage at this height because contests have a greater impact against you, and if your primary methods of scoring are tough shots off the dribble, you need the best badges to make up for it. Legend Deadeye, Shifty Shooter, and Mini Marksman are awesome for this build. Anything within the arc is a green light. We can play slower, with herky-jerky step-back cancels that freeze the defender and go right into midi fades. We can take our time, probe the defense, and find the right opening for spin jumpers. I mean, that looks just like Brunson. This is my favorite combo with the build. I'm using Trae Young's hop jumper, so that's where I'm getting this snatch cross, allowing me to take a moment and read the defense. Then going middle, I flow right into Jamal Murray's spin jumper. These spots are Jalen's bread and butter. And if we didn't have legend badges, I wouldn't be able to pull this off as confidently. So if I'm going to make a shot creator at 6'3" or shorter, you better believe I'm either going 99 mid-range or 99 3-point. Especially when we got Capbreakers, so bring that back to a 94 and we get the best bang for our buck. 80 post control for gold post fade phenom, a tier 2 badge that we're going to max +1 to Hoff. I flow into the same combo I was just talking about, except instead of the spin jumper, I slow down into a post up and quick turnaround fade. I'm using De'Aaron Fox's post fades, which honestly look just like Brunson too. They're really smooth, easy to time, and I'm just really glad I found this animation. These type of shots make the build feel like I'm Brunson the most. And Mini Marksman can actually pop on post fades too, which I didn't know. So combining that with 99 mid-range, Legend Deadeye, and Hall of Fame post fades, you got yourself the best post game possible on a 6'3" guard. Now let's talk about step throughs, a big part of Brunson's game, and something I've been working on a lot this year. Check out my deep post back video if you haven't seen it, because it's all about fades, fakes, pivots, and step throughs. I really wanted this to be a strength for this build because I can use it as a counter to that combo, and it works out of both Fox's post fade and Murray's spin jumper, leading to some of the most satisfying moments I get with the build. But what ratings do you think really matter for these type of shots? Well, in making this build, I think I figured it out. At first I thought close shot was a factor, so I went for a 92 on this build, which gets badges that sound like a great fit for Brunson. Hoff floats, gold hooks, and gold paint prodigy. But all I really wanted to do was to be able to efficiently pull off a step through out of that combo, and paint prodigy seems like the key here, so I ended up making two versions of this build. The one on the left is 92 close shot with gold paint prodigy, and the one on the right is 73 close shot with bronze. Doing the Murray spin, pump, step through, it almost looks identical. Then here's the Fox post fade, fake, step through, and again, looks the same to me. Okay, so not a huge difference in doing the combo. And I've realized that the rating itself doesn't even seem to have much of an impact when it comes to making the shot. Instead, I believe it's your driving layup rating that'll kick in, or mid-range if you do it from further out. So stick around till the end to see the lower close shot version of the build, which is going to get better defense and strength. But let's move on because both builds essentially have the same tools when it comes to scoring. 90 driving layup for gold physical finisher. Great badge this year and fitting for Brunson. And we do have that Hall of Fame float game from the close shot, so that can be nice, but I don't find myself going to them too often. I'm using Fox's layup style, and some of his float animations are great, but some can get me into trouble. We'll still get gold floats on the version with less close shot, which is plenty if you're taking them open. And these should really be the only situations where you take them anyways, because floaters aren't that strong this year. But as I said, this is the stat that matters for step throughs, and 90 is also just a nice spot for layups in general. Gold physical finisher is such a great badge, and I haven't done it yet, but I'll have to mess around with putting my tier 1 max +1 here for Hoff, because Brunson has phenomenal touch around the rim, and almost all his layups are through contact. Alright, so we can basically get anything we want inside the arc. Now let's finish up the shooting from distance. 87 3-point, leaving some room for a couple future Capbreakers that unlock silver limitless range and give us something to look forward to. If the team needs a 3 in the clutch, man, you can count on Brunson. Trey's hop jumper creates a lot of space going right, break rhythm, set shot, ball game. Since we got legend badges, it damn near feels like we got a 99. Kyrie Hezzy, behind the back, SGA aggressive breakdown flowing perfectly into Trey's misdirection step back. Shoo! That's one of my favorite combos I figured out recently. When we got the ball in our right hand, we can go to Kyrie's go-to shot, which is also a good move for shot creators. But the real kill move is his go-to shot out of the triple threat. I got way too many clips with this one, because that jab cross into the step back is just so nasty. It loses the defender almost every time, especially because they're expecting us to attack inside the arc, as we've done all game. This completes the package, and I'm excited to eventually unlock Silver Limitless, but even with Bronze, we can hit tough shots from deep because you get a boost to your green window on your go-to shot. So if you're a small guard and you haven't tried out Kyrie's go-to, put it on for a couple games and find out. It's one of the easiest moves because all I'm doing is pulling up on the right stick and then timing my shot. Of course, I'm also rhythm shooting on it. Got my hot zones, always got my jump shot boost. All the help that we can get to give us full confidence as a shot creator. On to the playmaking. 82 pass act for gold dimer, 90 ball handle for gold handles for days, gold strong handle, and I'll be putting 2 Capbreakers here for gold unpluckable. 86 speed with ball for gold lightning launch, and all these stats let us put on flash for our takeover, which pops blur at level 5, one of the strongest abilities in the game. As we cook our matchup throughout the game, we'll be getting faster and faster, making us even tougher to guard. Then when blur activates, we'll literally just go through the defenders and easily get to our spots. I would have liked to get the pass act higher, but for me, 82 is enough to get the job done. As always though, feel free to just use this build as a template and adjust it to make it your own. Now the defense is a little rough on this version. Like I said, the next version is much better here, but it's still playable for me with 74 perimeter D for bronze badges and 79 steel for silver glove and interceptor. You're cooked on the interior, but at least we got some strength on the build for bronze movable enforcer, so just try to keep them in front of you, and if you're running zone, maybe try to hide this build in the corner. You should know by now though, this ain't meta, and you can still have a lot of fun playing casually in the rec. If you know how to move on D, this build has good enough physicals to be capable of staying in good position, and if you see my other builds, most of them are offense heavy with 74 perimeter D. But with this one, I'll admit, since it's shorter, it could use a little more. 79 steel is kind of nice, but yeah, I'll show you in the next version what I would personally do if I were to remake the build to make it a little more competitive. 85 speed and 82 agility for gold slippery off ball, 75 strength for gold physical finisher and strong handle, and 55 vert is as low as we could go. 60 O board, and then 85 free throw. We pretty much wrapped up the build. I'm still not vet 2, but once I get it, I'll throw a +5 on the speed with ball for Hall of Fame lightning launch. we get shades of Jerry West, the king of New York himself, Jalen Brunson, and Ty Jerome. And we built a shot-creating 3-level threat. Always satisfying when we can get a shade of the guy we're trying to make. Almost forgot the animations in the jump shot, so go ahead and pause the video here if you want to see that. Alright, now let's take a look at the lower close shot version. Bring it down as low as we can while keeping 94 mid-range, and that would be a 79 close shot. We don't get gold hooks anymore, so post control can also drop to 79. And I would bring the steal down to 60 and just play good, honest defense with your hands in your pockets. Strength goes up to 85, and perimeter D goes up to an 87. Now we get some silver defensive badges, gold immovable enforcer, and Hall of Fame off-ball pest for pretty good value. That strength also gets us Hall of Fame strong handle, which is a great badge and fitting for Brunson. Big bonus there in my opinion. We can also get 85 pass sack for bronze bailout. It's a nice spot. And honestly, it's been kind of annoying to not be able to dunk on this build when I'm wide open on fast breaks, so you could go for a 40 driving dunk and 45 standing dunk just to get those animations. And then lastly, I would slap on a 60 block just so you can have a chance at bothering defenders down low. So this is what I would personally do if I were to remake the build. The one thing I'll say about 92 close shot is I think it helps me draw more fouls, maybe. I don't know, that could be placebo. But I'll let you guys make up your own mind about it if you decide to make Jalen Brunson. This one also gets shades of Brunson, as well as the Big O and Tyrese Halliburton. We get the name two-way, 3-level shot creator. So that's going to do it for our Jalen Brunson build in NBA 2K25. And I think that of any year, 2K25 is the best suited game for a playstyle like this. Because first of all, gameplay in general is slower than ever before. So for me, making this build was a challenge to see if I can make that a strength. We also got new features like left stick dribbling and step back cancels, which are perfect for Brunson's herky-jerky stop and go playstyle. And lastly, if you know me, you know I love playing out of the post, so naturally, I had to make a guard that's capable of confidently taking post fades, which also allows me to set up pump fakes, pivots, and step throughs. Fun stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Feel free to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on noties if you did. I got some more fun ones coming your way, so keep an eye out. Thanks for taking the time, and I'll see you on the Discord. Peace.